She could hear the back of his palate tremble faintly as he released an indistinct giggle, modest above all. This is how she knew he would snore like a doubled-up pig in his sleep. But before she was able to complete the image of Emilio Toffolo, the government functionary from Bologna, sleeping, he was already talking again. "No, miss, I've not been to Japan. I just like to read. And I don't mind telling you that I'm not much of a traveler either. The fact that you find me on board of a ship is quite exceptional." For a moment she felt like telling him that she liked to read as well, but felt he probably wouldn't believe her if she did. He would have only needed one good look at her shoes to see that she might as well have been illiterate. She decided to change the subject. He stared at the coastline in the kind of silence that might as well have been a scream that he already knew all about how things stood with provincial little girls like her. After a while, he dry smacked his lips a couple of times and added, "You never introduced yourself back in the cabin." "I'm Lydia," she answered flatly, but politely enough. "Just Lydia." "Just Lydia? Should one call you Just or Miss Lydia then?" "I like the sound of that, but Lydia will do," she said, not exactly hiding the fact that she was feeling more than a bit ruffled by a sense of humor. "Very well, Lydia, just Lydia. Did you know that this ship is considered to be just about the most technically advanced piece of machinery operating the transatlantic routes out of Genoa and Naples?" "No, I did not. Nor do I want to know how many tons of steel we're standing on. I don't care to know at how many knots we're currently navigating either, or over how many cubic kilometers of water, Signor Toffolo. As a matter of fact, the levels of iodine in the Mediterranean on average during the month of November don't particularly interest me much at all, you must know." "No, I didn't think so," said Emilio Toffolo, his palate making that collapsing sound again, the short roll of a swine-like snore as the only indication that a harshness might have struck him in some way. "You know, Signor Toffolo, when I was standing here, before you spoke to me, when you thought I was saying a prayer to your Japanese god, I had just come to a most interesting conclusion." "A conclusion?" "I'm starting to realize that there isn't a single soul on the ship, Signor Toffolo, who isn't in some way a big liar." The functionary squinted his eyes and observed her over the rims of his spectacles for a better, less filtered look. "Please explain." "See, it doesn't matter anymore that I'm anyone's daughter. I'm clearly a lot of things I wasn't only a year ago. And take the documents in my pocket. Those are now the only proof that says I'm anything at all. Doesn't matter anymore that I wasn't actually born on August 10th, 1879 either, like the documents say. You know, I lied about that and made myself out to be 2 years older. I feared they wouldn't let me travel otherwise. But who's going to split hairs on a thing like that anymore?" "No one I can think of," the functionary said. "Consider the distance I will end up covering, Signor Toffolo, before a thing like a birth certificate will mean anything again," she said, looking him right in the eyes, but with her attention turned inward. "Is it then still necessary for me to have been born in the town of Chiavarese, right there in the interior, behind those mountains no one can even see anymore? I don't think there's a soul who would care, and I certainly don't. I could just as well have made myself to be Greek, Polish, anything. I've come to the conclusion that this is the reason any one of us is on the ship in the first place. Because deep down we're all liars? No, Signor Toffolo, because imagination is the only limit that now binds us." It surprised her that she had been this forthcoming with what in essence was still a complete stranger, and especially because only minutes earlier all she had wanted was to be by herself. May I ask where you're going? The functionary said. For now, let's just stick to Buenos Aires. She began to move from the railing toward the center of the deck to escape the cold lashing of the wind, and inquired with something resembling real interest in her voice. Brazil, is it? For you? Oh, yes, Brazil, yes, he answered, faking surprise. May I ask what's there? Like I said before, official business, well, somewhat official anyway. There's also a small matter of the heart I mean to resolve while I'm there. That really doesn't tell me much at all, Signora. He straightened himself up and looked like a 10-year-old boy again, who has just put on a soldier's hat in front of the mirror for the first time. Lydia, man has been crossing oceans for all the wrong reasons for centuries, the way I see it. But not only wrong reasons, if you know what I mean. With his miniature hands, he grabbed the lapels of his coat as he orated again, with the same theatrics he had witnessed of him before. And this time around, he added, I'm crossing it for both rights and wrong reasons. And that, Lydia, is the realization I came to lately. I'm still not sure I understand, but if you say so, then let that be it. And I wish you good luck.